Hello, my friends. Today, I want to take you into a story that few people truly know, the rise of the American bison. Once seen only as the thundering giants of the plains, bison are now at the center of an industry worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Across the United States and Canada, more than 400,000 of these massive animals are being raised on carefully managed ranches. Each year, nearly 25,000 head are processed, delivering millions of pounds of lean, nutrient-rich meat to restaurants, grocery stores, and homes across North America. But here's the astonishing part. Not so long ago, this animal was on the edge of extinction. From a population of over 30 million in the 1800s, bison numbers plummeted to less than 1,000 by the end of the century. It was a tragedy of overhunting and loss of habitat until dedicated ranchers, conservationists, and indigenous communities helped bring them back. Today, bison are more than a comeback story. They represent resilience, sustainability, and a healthier future for red meat. But what does it take to raise, care for, and process an animal that can weigh over a ton while still honoring its wild heritage? Stay with me, because we're about to dive into the fascinating world of bison farming and discover how the spirit of the plains is still alive on both ranch and table. If this story sparks your curiosity, hit the like button drop. A comment with your thoughts about bison farming, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next journey into the hidden world of agriculture. To truly appreciate the bison's incredible journey, we need to rewind to a time when more than 30 million of them roamed the endless grasslands of North America. For centuries, these majestic giants were central to indigenous life, providing food hides for clothing and shelter bones for tools and spiritual meaning. Every part of the bison was used with respect and gratitude, but the 19th century brought devastation. With the westward push of European settlers, bison were slaughtered on an industrial scale. Railroads carried hunters deep into the plains, hides were shipped by the thousands, and deliberate campaigns sought to destroy the very foundation of Native American survival. By the late 1800s, fewer than 1,000 bison remained. Extinction seemed inevitable until a coalition of early conservationists, indigenous tribes, and ranchers intervened. Yellowstone became a refuge. Private herds were protected. Slowly, the species clawed its way back. Today, the numbers tell a remarkable story: over 400,000 solid farm-raised bison across the US and Canada, and more than 31,000 living wild in protected reserves. More than just survival, this is the rebirth of an ethical, sustainable meat industry, one that honors history while meeting modern demand for healthier, eco-friendly red meat. The bison's comeback is proof that humanity can reverse its mistakes, but the journey isn't finished. Up next, we'll step inside the ranches and processing plants where ancient instincts meet modern innovation and see how bison are transformed into one of the most prized premium meats in the world. If you already knew about this story, comment 1. If this is your first time learning about bison farming, comment 2. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you won't miss what comes next. The life of a bison begins on the wide-open plains where ancient instincts still shape every move. Calving season comes in late spring and early summer after a 9-month pregnancy. Mother bison called cows bring new calves into the world, often referred to as red dogs because of their bright reddish coats. At birth, they already weigh about 55 pounds, nearly 30% larger than their wild cousins, and within just minutes, they're able to stand, walk, and follow their mothers. This survival instinct, once critical for escaping predators, is still strong even on modern ranches. For the first several months, calves nurse from their mothers while slowly learning to graze. By 4 to 6 months, the weaning process begins. Young bison gradually shift to a diet of native prairie grasses, hay alfalfa, and carefully balanced grains. This mix provides the nutrients they need for strong growth while preserving the lean muscle that gives bison meat its unique flavor and texture. Unlike conventional livestock, bison are raised in semi-wild free-range conditions. They graze, roam, and wallow as they would in the wild. These natural behaviors keep them healthier, less stressed, and ultimately produce higher quality meat. Ranchers step in only to provide careful guidance, working with veterinarians for routine checkups, vaccinations, and hoof inspections. Some large ranches even use drones and digital tracking systems to monitor herds spread across thousands of acres. By the time a bison reaches maturity at around 2 to 3 years of age, it can weigh anywhere from 1,000 tons to 2,000 pounds. These giants stand as living testaments to strength, resilience, and survival animals that still carry the wild spirit of the American plains while thriving under modern sustainable care. Raising bison isn't just about turning them loose on the plains, it's a precise balance of animal welfare, land stewardship, and modern technology. These massive animals may look wild, but successful ranching requires both respect for their instincts and careful scientific management. Unlike cattle, bison are natural foragers with remarkable grazing efficiency. They can thrive on marginal lands, unsuitable for crops, converting tough prairie grasses into rich, lean red meat with minimal environmental impact. On most ranches, herds roam freely, feeding almost exclusively on native grasses. This diet not only mirrors the way their ancestors lived, but also produces one of the leanest, healthiest meats available today. Of course, the seasons bring challenges. In winter, or when pastures are resting, ranchers provide supplemental feed such as haycorn or grain pellets. Considering that an adult bull can weigh nearly 2,000 pounds, daily intake is staggering, roughly 2 to 3% of body weight, or around 24–30 pounds of food each day. But the secret lies not just in what bison eat, but how they graze. Many ranches employ rotational grazing systems, moving herds across different pastures to allow vegetation to recover. This simple but effective method prevents overgrazing, restores soil health, and preserves biodiversity, all while lowering the operation's overall carbon footprint. Herd management is equally unique. Because bison retain much of their wild temperament, handling them requires care and specialized equipment. Ranchers rely on curved alleys and squeeze chutes designed to keep the animals calm during vaccinations, weigh-ins, or tagging. Stress reduction is critical, since a stressed bison is not only dangerous, but also produces lower quality meat. Technology now plays a central role. RFID ear tags and GPS tracking provide real-time data on individual animals, while drones offer aerial views of massive herds spread across thousands of acres. These tools save labor, increase safety, and ensure that every animal is monitored with precision. By blending ancient survival instincts with cutting-edge farming methods, ranchers have created a model that protects the environment, ensures animal welfare, and delivers one of the cleanest, most sustainable sources of red meat in the world. So what does all this careful management taste like? Before we dive into the processing side, hit the like button if you think bison ranching is more fascinating than cattle farming, or drop a 1 in the comments if you'd love to see one of these ranches up close. Unlike the massive cattle industry that handles tens of thousands of animals daily, bison processing takes place on a far more intimate scale. Only about 25,000 head are harvested each year across the US and Canada, a fraction compared to 30 million cattle. But this isn't just about numbers, it's about philosophy. Bison are herded through wide curved pathways designed to mimic natural herd movement, keeping them calm and reducing stress. Humane, stunning methods ensure they are rendered unconscious instantly before slaughter, preserving both dignity and meat quality. Why such care? Because stress hormones directly affect tenderness, flavor, and texture. After processing, carcasses are chilled, aged, and inspected under strict standards, producing meat that is lean, nutrient-rich, and slightly sweet in flavor. It's not just red meat, it's the result of respect, patience, and a commitment to quality over quantity. Once inside the facility, the real work begins. And this is where bison meat processing truly sets itself apart from conventional beef plants. Because adult bulls can weigh more than 2,000 pounds with dense muscle and thick hides, much of the work remains in the hands of skilled butchers. Automated machinery often falls short when faced with the unique build of these animals. Instead, specialized knives are used to carefully remove the hide and separate each cut with precision. This artisanal approach preserves meat quality while ensuring safety for workers handling such powerful carcasses. Facilities operate under the highest standards of hygiene and safety. Temperature-controlled rooms, constant monitoring, and strict inspections guarantee that every cut of bison meat is handled responsibly. From hide removal to final packaging, every step is about respect for the animal, for the consumer, and for the land that sustains both. So what happens to the meat after processing? Unlike beef, where fatty marbling is celebrated, bison meat is prized for something different: its natural leanness. For health-conscious consumers, it delivers high-quality protein that's lower in fat, but still bursting with bold, gamey flavor. Some of the most sought-after cuts highlight this balance of taste and nutrition. Chuck eye, tender, juicy, and perfect for slow roasting or searing as steaks. Short ribs, rich, hearty, and ideal for long braises that bring out their depth. Round steak, lean yet flavorful, a versatile favorite for grilling or stir-frying. Beyond taste, bison meat carries real nutritional power. It's naturally high in omega-3 fatty acids for heart health, zinc for immunity, iron for energy and endurance, and vitamin B12 to keep your nervous system strong. Every cut is carefully portioned, vacuum-sealed, and labeled to lock in freshness. Automated systems handle the packaging, but each stage is overseen by quality experts to ensure safety, traceability, and authenticity. Even the byproducts don't go to waste. Bones are processed into pet treats. Hides become durable leather, and organs are refined into supplements. It's a philosophy of respect, using the entire animal and leaving nothing behind. Today, bison is no longer just a heritage food. It's a premium protein on the rise. From fine dining restaurants to everyday kitchens, its market has been growing at over 10% annually. With every burger, steak, or ribeye sold, consumers take home more than just a meal. They bring a taste of the open prairie and a living link to North America's untamed spirit. So here's my question for you: if you saw both on the menu tonight, would you go for the bison steak or play it safe with a classic beef ribeye? Drop your answer in the comments. I can't wait to see who's ready for an adventure on their plate. Bison have always been more than livestock. For thousands of years, they were the lifeblood of Native American tribes, providing food, clothing, shelter, and tools. Every part of the animal was used with deep respect, and the bison itself was seen as sacred, a living symbol of survival, abundance, and spiritual strength. Today, as bison farming grows into a modern, multi-million-dollar industry, those traditions remain alive. Across the United States, many of the largest herds are now cared for on Native American-owned ranches. These communities are blending conservation, cultural heritage, and sustainable ranching, ensuring that the story of the bison isn't just about profit, but about identity and resilience. What do you think? Should these cultural traditions be preserved alongside modern farming practices? Comment yes if you agree, or share your thoughts below. I'd love to hear your perspective. From an economic perspective, the bison industry now generates hundreds of millions of dollars each year, fueling rural economies in places like South Dakota, Montana, Colorado, and Oklahoma. With more than 500 bison farms across North America, it creates jobs in ranching, veterinary care processing, and transport, while also driving tourism through ranch visits, eco-tours, and wildlife photography. Premium exports of meat hides and byproducts further expand its reach into global markets. But what makes this industry truly unique is its foundation in sustainability. Bison are perfectly suited to the prairies. They thrive without artificial hormones, rely little on antibiotics, and are never confined to crowded feedlots. Even more remarkable, their natural grazing helps restore grasslands, rebuild soil health, and foster biodiversity. In a world increasingly concerned with climate impact and food origins, bison ranching stands out as a model of balance, profitable, ethical, and rooted in nature. The demand for bison meat is rising rapidly, with U.S. sales climbing more than 10% each year as consumers seek leaner, healthier, and more ethical protein than traditional beef. Beyond steaks, bison now appears in burgers, jerky sausages, and even gourmet pet food, always carrying a premium price that supports farmers and rural economies. What was once a near-tragic story of extinction has become a symbol of resilience and stewardship. Every rancher conservationist and consumer who chooses bison helps keep this legacy alive. It's proof that with respect, care, and innovation, we can reconnect with the wild and taste the strength of the plains in every meal we share. The story of the bison is more than just farming. It's a story of survival renewal and how humanity can learn to live in balance with nature. Once nearly driven to extinction, these giants of the plains now stand tall again, feeding families, supporting rural economies, and proving that sustainable agriculture can thrive when respect and innovation come together. But the journey doesn't end here, it continues with you. If given the chance, would you try bison meat? Comment 1. Do you believe bison farming could be a sustainable solution for the future of food? Comment 2. Your voice matters, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if this deep dive gave you a new perspective on how food is raised and transformed, please take a second to support our work. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss another fascinating story from the hidden world of farming and production. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being part of this journey. I'll see you in the next adventure, where together we'll uncover more secrets of how the world really works.